Hey everyone, this is Dr. Drizzle, and today I'm here with my sister Joanna, who is much smarter than me in the world of agriculture. But we have a question for her to answer today, and I'm going to actually go share my screen with you so you can see what we're going to be talking about today as I introduce Joanna. So welcome to our agricultural section of Ask Dr. Drizzle Live, and today we're going to be talking about growing veggies soilless, so without dirt. Our special guest today, Joanna Radford, who is an extension agent in the agricultural and natural resources. And Joanna, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello. I work with North Carolina Cooperative Extension. We are an agency out of NC State University and North Carolina A&T University. And our job is to bring information, research-based information to the public. So we're not trying to sell anything, and I think we're probably one of the best kept secrets. My job is pretty cool because I get to work with farmers in the county with fruit and vegetables. And if they have problems, then I can assist them. And interesting enough, if I can't help, I can rely on our specialists at the universities here in North Carolina or any of the surrounding states.
So Joanna, that's a great way to sort of preface this whole thing, that we as a person don't always know all the answers, but we can reach out to others. I have that problem that I don't know all the answers. So I've had some students ask some questions, and I'm going to find the best experts and resources possible. So here is our question today, asked by Silas and Aubrey from Mooresville, North Carolina. Oops, missed it. Let's try it again.
Hey, Dr. Drizzle, my name is Silas. How can you grow plants without dirt? Hey, Dr. Drizzle, my name is Aubrey. How do you grow plants without dirt?
So obviously they've got the great question, and I'm glad you're here to give us the answer. So we know that hydroponics is the method of growing plants without water. We know that hydro means water and ponics means working, but we are going to actually see what this looks like, and my dear friend and expert is going to be sharing that. So Joanna, I'm going to turn the microphone over to you right now and ask you to take us through this world of hydroponics.
It is so exciting because it wasn't until a few years ago that we decided that we didn't have to have soil to grow plants. And that makes a world of gardening so much bigger than it ever has been before. One of the things that we like to do with kids and classrooms, and even adults I've done it with, is starting their own hydroponics in their home. And you don't have to have any of this fancy materials and things like that. So with today, more and more people are wanting to grow their own vegetables and want to know how, and this is just a resource that you guys can use that might be helpful in your own homes. We have, I guess, needing to talk about a little bit the things that you might need to start our hydroponic unit. And what in the world? It's a takeout tray. That's all we need to get started. That will be our reservoir. That's what's going to keep the water for our plants. Because think about this, the word wow, W-O-W. That's what seeds need to germinate. They need water, they need oxygen, and they need warmth. So what is germination? Big word. Very important though in hydroponics and gardening. Germination is just the process in which a seed begins to grow. All right, so we gotta get our tray ready, our reservoir ready, and we don't need a lot more. Plastic cup. We need something to hold the cup in the reservoir. So this is a neat little trick. fold it up and you can make holes. I made a template, just a round circle, so I could trace on top of the tray. And it needs to be as big, just a little bit bigger. I don't know if you can see that very well, but a little bit bigger than the bottom of the cup, because we want it to be able to hold the cup. So you don't even need scissors for this. You can take your template, put it on top, and if you want a lot, I only did 2 when you'll see what we've got finished, but you can have this whole top here full of circles as long as you don't, as long as you keep it to where they can actually support the cups. But we're going to take a pencil, a sharp pencil, and just trace around the template and keep tracing and tracing. And the harder you press down, we can push it through and we will actually have holes. Nice. So it's pretty easy. And we can take our cup and just try it out. See if it will fit in there. You see, that's what we want. All right, we got to do a little doctoring on our cup because the cup doesn't have any holes in the bottom. And we need holes in this bottom so our water can get in there. So this is when you might need to get some scissors. Get your scissors and make some slits. You see the little slits here? And you want to make them just big enough that water can go through. And you can even make them bigger than what I have here as long as the bottom is attached. Because if this bottom comes apart, everything in it is going to fall out.
Right. So Joanna, we want to make sure that when they're doing this, that they're asking an adult to help them with those scissors, because even as adults, we can sometimes slip with those things, and we do not need any injuries for this.
Careful with that. I myself sometimes have to be careful. But once we have those holes in there, we can go ahead and just try it out to make sure everything is sitting in there appropriately. Now for the fun part. We got to figure out what we're going to do. How are we going to get our seeds in here for our plants, to our seeds to germinate? Soil is important. It is a structure that helps support the plant. And that's basically all it is. So we got to figure out what we can do to support this seed and plant as it grows. There's several things that you can use. You can be pretty fancy and use something called rock wool. Now, I'm saying rock wool. Okay? A lot of different vocabulary today. And this is what it looks like. It comes in cubes, usually very long sheets, and you can pull them apart quite easily. And actually, to get ready for today and for this experiment, I soaked it in water because we want this moist. We want it wet because what did we need? Water, right? Part of the wow that we need. So I soaked it and I had it soaking in some water. And this is actually, whew, it's dripping. So that is ready. We have prepared it. So that's what you want to do. But if you don't have rock wool, I mean, how many of us have that hanging around the house?
No, I don't have it. I do not have any.
Okay, well, let's brainstorm. One of the things we might could use, cotton balls.
I have those.
You've got those? All
yeah.
Right. So let's grab us some cotton balls. Got lots of them. We might could play some games with them too. But you want to pull them apart, pull the fibers apart a little bit, okay? Once you pull those fibers apart, you can soak those in water as well. And you may have to do more than one. Sometimes, depending on how big your cotton balls, I've got the jumbo ones.
Okay.
Okay. I'm dipping them in some water here to get them all wet. And then you can put them in your cup. But you know what? We might not want to put it in there yet, because it goes to the bottom and it may plug up those holes we've just made in our cup. So now we've got to brainstorm again. What can we do? Typically what I do is use these clay pebbles. You see that?
Yes.
Well, there again, not a lot of people have these hanging around their house either. So you might want to use some gravel are some stones, okay, or some rocks. And we're going to put that in the bottom. And we're going to probably put about a fourth to a half a cup full. When we do that, when water gets in, seeps through with our holes in the bottom, that's in our container here, that's going to give a little bit of oxygen, a little bit of space in there for our roots to grow.
Okay.
Once we put it in the bottom, then we're going to take our rock wool or our cotton balls and put on top of that. Oh, we're almost ready. I'm getting excited now.
Me too. I'm hungry.
It's not going to be immediate, though. That's the only thing, but we get fun to watch it grow.
Yes.
All right. So I've made 2 of them here, and it's been so easy and so quick. And they're both moist. They're wet. Now, what are we lacking?
We're going to have to put something in there to make it grow, or to something for it to grow, right?
We have to have some seed. All right. Now, a lot of times you probably want something that is not deep rooted because we have a very shallow area for our roots to grow. You may not want anything that has a root to it as far as what we eat, like some of our root crops, like our radishes and our carrots, probably wouldn't grow very well in this type of situation. However, there are a lot of things that will grow in this. How many folks like lettuce?
Ooh, me.
Ooh. You can make your own, Daisha. You can make your own salad bowl right here.
That's perfect. We don't need to be out right now in the situation that we're in. So having our own salad bowl would be wonderful.
Yes. And lettuce is pretty neat because not head lettuce, but the leaf lettuce, you can harvest it and then it'll grow back and you can harvest it again. So it keeps on and on and on, keeps on giving. All right, so here we go. I've got just some examples. I've got this lettuce and it has different blends in it. So we can make our own salad bowl. This is another one. And I'm not promoting these varieties. It's just what I found around the house. Here's some spinach.
Ooh.
You could add that to the mix.
Yummy.
Oh, this is a good one too. Swiss chard. This may be new for some folks.
I don't think I've ever had any.
Oh, Daisha, this one's yummy. And it's also beautiful because this one is the rainbow colors. You can get it white too, but boring. I like the colors, the rainbow colors. And you can eat it raw in your salads or you can cook it like turnip greens. Good thing about it doesn't smell like turnip greens when it's cooking. So your house is not smelly. Now you can, if you wanted to get some starts on some summer, all of these, I guess I need to say, these are cool season vegetables. Okay, and these cool season vegetables, they like to grow when it's, and germinate when it's cooler weather. So now's a good time. Even a month ago, you could have started these.
Okay.
You can keep them in your house or you can set them outside as well. The cool temperatures, they just thrive in it. So those are neat to have around and good to plant right now. Now, if you wanted to, you could start the warm season vegetables. And some of the warm season vegetables, I guess I need to put the card up so you can see. Okay, those warm season vegetables are our regular summer vegetables like tomatoes.
Yum.
And how many people have seen tomatoes that don't really look in a package? A bunch of them in there. But those type of vegetables, they like warmer temperatures. Okay, so any kind of frost, cold temperatures, it would kill them.
Oh.
They wouldn't be very good, but you can start them now, and then after the last frost, you can set them out.
Okay.
Okay. In the Piedmont, a lot of times it's around mid-April is when our last frost date is. You have to be careful though, because Mother Nature tricks us sometimes. 10 days before or 10 days after, we might have a frost as well. But by Mother's Day, we're usually clear of the frost. I'm going to go back to the lettuce because I think that's what I'm going to do. I want some lettuce And I don't know if you guys have seen lettuce seed before. Let me see if I can get it. I'll have to come close. Wow. Can you see that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, the seeds are tiny. When we put the seeds in here, we're going to put 2 of them, and I've got 3 on my finger, but we're going to put 2. Let's see, let's get it out. And you may have to dip it off your finger and put it in there. Wow, I think I dropped it. Put it in there. And we're putting 2 in there, and you might could even put 3, especially if it's lettuce. And when it gets bigger, if it's too crowded, you can always transplant one. You could take one out and put it in another one. But you want to make sure they have a lot of room because they like their own space, kind of like us now, but not 6 foot of space. All right, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to put some Swiss chard in the other one just so you can see what the seed looks like. It's a little bit bigger. You see that?
Okay, darker too.
A little bit. So you can put one of these, and they grow pretty tall. They'll grow a little bit taller, but we can have some variety right here. I don't know if you noticed, but this seed, it's amazing how this can grow into a plant. But the seed actually that's in there, this that we see is the seed coat, and that is protecting the seed and keeping it dry so it actually will live. Inside is an embryo. It's a baby plant.
Nice.
And that baby plant will grow and grow. The neat thing about it is there's also something else in there called a cotyledon. That cotyledon is food for that baby embryo. So we don't have to water these probably for the first week. The seed has provided for itself for just a little while.
Wow.
Okay, so now that we're ready, there's one thing we've got our oxygen in here. We've got enough air, I think, in between there with our pebbles and our rocks. We need, what was that? Warmth. We've got the sun. Water. Right?
Oh.
Wow. So I brought some water that we can put in there, and you may have to take your cups out so you're not spilling them. And this reservoir that's in there, you're going to pour water into it. And you're going to pour enough. Whoops. Okay. You close this tray up and set these down. Oh yes, this is nice. You can see there's water been dripping off of my fingers there. So that, your unit here, hydroponic unit, has the reservoir is at the bottom and it has the water in there. You'll have to keep looking for it though. Make sure there's water in the bottom because if it dries out, your plants aren't going to last very long.
Joanna, I have a question for you. We're getting a lot of questions in our Facebook Live, but one of the questions that we came up with is they don't have takeout containers at home right now, and they really want to build something. Is there another option for them right now?
Yes, and I know many people have things around that they like to recycle. I do too. And I happen to bring a couple of things with me. I thought somebody may have that question. You can use anything that you have already. Yogurt containers, maybe some kind of plastic containers, and you can just make do with those. These actually, when I was trying to investigate what we had, look at there, it fits so nicely. And you could do the same thing. Cut holes in here so water can go in. And when you would fill this container up, your reservoir, you'd make sure that it could go up pretty high where it would make sure that water could get to your plant.
Okay.
Neat thing about this, you'd be able to see it. In that takeout tray, you can't see it very good. So this may be even more exciting. What's even more, I think, is how many folks have mason jars of any size? Pint size, half pint, quarts. Look at this. You can leave the rim on because that's a good support system for your cup. We can take our cup and it slides right in there.
Nice.
So you can use that. Just make sure, and it'd be easy to check on the water with this because you can see the water. You can also see the roots grow. Great question, Daisha.
Yes, this is so exciting. I want to let them know that if they missed some of the instructions as we went through, they can still have these instructions because we have created for them a presentation that has everything that Joanna talked about. It has the suggested materials, the directions, gives you the options for cotton balls if you don't have the rock wool. It also gives you questions and definitions so you can go back and look at this again. And Joanna, we're getting a lot of comments in Facebook Live. One person has said that they love going to Disney World because at one of the, I think it's Epcot, they can travel through the land exhibit and they watch these things happening. So they can be part of their own Disney experience at home by creating these types of hydroponics, because we want them to share them with us, right? We want to see their pictures. Joanna and I both are excited about seeing what you are doing. Let me go through to this piece right here. Joanna, do you have any last words of wisdom for us as we begin to build our own hydroponics up in about 45 minutes? We want to start really quick and do this.
Well, you may want to make, you know, if you're like me, you're forgetful sometimes and you don't realize what you've planted. So make sure you label, and labeling doesn't have to be very fancy. I've used what I had here at the house, a plastic spoon, a knife, plastic knife, and I just labeled it lettuce, spinach, and what I will do is just stick them in the top of our cups, and so I know what grows in case I forget.
I love that. That is so smart. And again, it's reusing things that we already have at home. So if you missed the presentation, we are going to put this up on YouTube in a couple of hours. But at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a bit.ly, and that is where this entire PowerPoint presentation is. So you can go over this again at home with your mom and dad, and you can decide what you want to build. If you want to build that amazing salad bar, you could all choose vegetables that you like on your salad bar. And I love the idea that lettuce continues to grow. That just excites me to no end. It makes me think of perpetual salad bars, which brings us to our next topic next week. Joanna, you want to give us just a quick little tease about what we're going to talk about next Wednesday?
We are going to talk about perpetual veggies. How can we purchase or grow one vegetable and keep it going?
Oh, that's exciting. That's going to save on our power bills, because we don't have to do a lot of, well, that didn't even make sense. Not our power bills, our grocery bills, because we can start to grow something and it'll just continue to grow. I don't think that works with Doritos or popcorn, which is like my favorite snack. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment so you can see Joanna large screen again. Joanna, you are amazing. I'm glad that we're related. I'm glad that you're smarter than me in these areas, and just excited that we're going to be sharing this with kids for the next couple of weeks. I will share with you that the Ask Dr. Drizzle section has begun. This was our kickoff for today. We want to thank Silas and Aubrey from North Carolina for being our question askers. They're good friends of ours, and we love seeing their faces today. If you have a question for me that I can outsource to somebody famous, please let me know and I will answer that. Tomorrow's Facebook Live is going to be, do sharks feel pain? And we've actually hooked up with some scientists from Sarasota, Florida that will answer that. But Joanna, I will see you again next Wednesday, same place, same time. Is it hot out there today?
It's a little warm. I bet it's reaching about 80. Perfect for our seeds to grow.
Perfect. Well, we're going to let you get out of that hotness. Again, thank you, Joanna, so much.
Thank you.
This is a great activity for all of us to do while we are intentionally homed at home. So we will see you next week, Joanna, and we'll see everybody else on Facebook. This is Dr. Drizzle and agriculture extraordinaire expert Joanna. Goodbye.
Bye.